Hello YouTube, this is Chris Bergstrom from Bushido Photo out here in Tokyo, Japan. Today I just wanted to show you basically the equipment that I use, why I use it, and give you some ideas for how you set up your lighting techniques. So I'll start off with the cameras that I use. So I switched from Nikon to the FujiFilm system, and I currently am using mostly the Pro2. It's new 24 megapixel sensor. The image quality is spectacular. Can't say enough good things about it. My backup camera now is the FujiFilm X-T1, which currently has the 50 to 140 optical image stabilization lens on it. For triggers, I use the Godox X1 TN trigger, and this basically allows me to control my AD600 strobes anytime I'm out on location. Now, I don't always want to carry a big AD600 because it's a bulky 7-pound unit. It's just not very convenient to carry around on a day-to-day basis. So I still use speed lights, but recently I picked up these Godox TT600s, and the cool thing about it is they work seamlessly with the X1T trigger. So it has the 2.4 gigahertz signal, and when you use the radio poppers, it works flawlessly. On top of that, I have the AD600s, the TT600s, and I also have some AD360s. I have 3 of these, and this is when I want to go a little more power than a speed light, but not as bulky as the AD600. This weighs in at 360 watt seconds, and to get it to work with the X1T triggers, I bought the XTR16 USB trigger receiver, which just mounts onto this side of the unit, and everything is fully functioning. So why did I switch to Godox? Well, the reason I switched to Godox simply was the quality and the price. So I get pretty much everything that I order shipped to me direct from Hong Kong, which is gets everything shipped to them from China, and it comes to me in 3 days. I don't have to sit and wait weeks or months at a time for stuff to ship from the States to Tokyo. And it's just a really good thing to have the option of low power, medium to high power, and then ridiculously high power. Now, one of the things that I wanted to explain to you about the difference between the AD360 and the AD600 is the 600 has the Bowens mount. That means I can't use my AD360 mounting option. The AD360 actually is a bare bulb flash, just like the 600. However, the modifiers, if you use their stock modifiers, slip right over the actual flash tube. So right here is the standard reflector with a grid spot. I use grids a lot to control the light. I shoot in a lot of small location shooting in people's houses, sometimes small studio spaces, and I need to be able to control that light. One of the cool things about this softbox that they have, it's only like $30. So compared to some of the other bigger brands out there, it's good bang for the buck. And now you're like, well, this thing's pretty big. It's kind of bulky to carry around in your bag. Well, it actually folds down to a really small unit, and you can actually take this front piece off if you need to. Before I switched to the Godox system, I was using Nikon speed lights, Alien Bs, any type of strobe that I could get my hands on. And to trigger my units, I switched from Pocket Wizard. I was using the Plus TT, whatever they call it, the TTL versions. And I switched to these Yongnuos, again, for the price. These things are super cheap, but they're super reliable. And I keep getting questions on YouTube about, will it work with my camera? Well, does your camera have a center pin on the hot shoe? If the answer is yes, then of course it will work. As long as your camera is sending a flash to fire signal, this will pop off your flashes, your strobes, whatever you're using, without any issues. This is the Yongnuo RF603N2. It's another 2.4 gigahertz. Works great. I would say just as reliable as the Pocket Wizards, but you're spending a lot less money. And nothing against Pocket Wizards. They are really great triggers. I just was able to get more stuff by selling them. Now back to the AD360. This is a great flash unit. It's pretty compact for the amount of light output, 360 watt seconds. And that's powered by the PB960 battery pack, which it has removable batteries that come off just like that. You can charge them in your house or wherever you need to in your car. I did get the Y adapter, which allows more current to flow to the single strobe. You could connect like a cell phone charger to one of these. You could connect another strobe to one of these and run two off of one battery. But I typically like to get fast recycle time, so I just have one of these for each of my flashes. Now, one handy tool to have is, I bought the Bolt brand instead of the Godox brand because it was available when I was living in the States. This is a Bolt PP-MC mounting clamp, and that allows you to attach this to your light stand, and it just slips into the belt clip right on the back. That way your battery isn't flopping all around on location. Now, last thing that I really wanted to show you was my favorite lighting modifiers. Currently, I do pinup shooting, I do Hollywood lighting shooting, I do standard portraits, fashion, mostly females, but I do shoot males as well. But I have this Bowens Fresnel 200 spot attachment that attaches beautifully to the AD600, and this allows me to actually change the aperture inside of the unit to create a wider spot or a smaller spot, and that's pretty handy. Now, my absolute favorite lighting modifier is the Westcott Zeppelin. Now, this is the 35-inch parabolic, which has the front diffusion panel taken off right now. I typically like to shoot without the front diffusion because it creates this ring light effect with all the silver around the outside and this baffle inside of here. It's kind of a 1 to 2 stop diffusion panel, so you don't get a bright hot spot on the model. And with the AD600's modeling light, I can see what I'm going to get before I even take the picture. Now, in addition to those modifiers, I know the Westcott, the Bowens, they're pretty pricey. Now, I put, when I get clients and I make money, I put it back into my studio. Constantly looking for new things to use, new toys, whatever you want to call them. Here is another great modifier. I'm not even going to be able to open this up in here. I just don't have the space. But this is the Westcott 50-inch Apollo softbox. This is really great for creating beautiful window light when there are no windows. You don't have to worry about what time of day it is. I can just set this up and I know immediately I'm going to get window light. One tip I like to give people when they use this is to set it at an angle to your subject. Don't aim it directly at them, because what's going to happen is you lose a lot of the control of where this big light modifier goes. It's going to hit the person, hit the background. I like to light the background normally independently of my subject. Unless I'm just using a one light setup, then I may feather it to get a little bit of spill on the background, move it forward or backwards to make it brighter or darker. But when you don't want light hitting the background, just feather it at an angle. It has this baffle on the edge here that will keep it from spilling where you don't want it to, but it creates a beautiful wrap of light, very soft light, and this one is one of my mainstay go-to light sources, and it's only about $200 and something. That's not too expensive. If I was starting a studio from scratch, one of the things I would highly recommend that everybody start out with is a 60-inch umbrella. Now, why do I say a 60-inch umbrella? Well, this particular one is very versatile. This is the Soft Lighter 2. I don't know if there's a Soft Lighter 3 out there. I haven't bought another one in a while, so they've lasted me 5-6 years I've had these. So you can set this up on top of your 60-inch umbrella, and it attaches with these little rings, the grommets, and the Velcro. So you basically get a more diffused light, so you don't get the specular bright highlights if that's not the look you're going for. So you can throw that on there. Then you have the 60-inch umbrella itself. Now, the reason I like the Soft Lighter in particular is the center rod comes out. This is the first generation, so this one actually screws out. and I guess they changed it to a pull-out version because people were probably stripping the threads. If you're careful, I haven't had an issue. But now you can see I can get this light as close as the edge of the umbrella. So I don't have to have this thing way back here, you know, with this rod sticking out in the subject's face, getting into the frame. I just take this off, I can put the diffusion material on there, and then it's even more versatile than that because you can actually take off the fabric, the black fabric, and turn it into a shoot-through umbrella. So that is really handy. All right, so in my studio, I also, since I'm in Japan, I like to use Japanese props, whether that's kimonos, yukatas, anything that really brings that flavor of Japan. And I shoot a lot of tourists that come to Tokyo. So I'm always taking them and making it look and feel like they were in Japan. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to buy a casa, or in English, an umbrella. So I have several different styles that the clients can choose from, different colors, different designs, and these are really great. And they only cost about $40 here in Japan, compared to in the States, you're going to spend upwards of $80 to $100 for some of these. Now, I always look for high quality casa, Japanese umbrellas. This one's actually got a nice realistic, I mean it is real, but bamboo that hasn't been sanded or smoothed. It's just a bamboo shaft, and it's all handmade here in Japan. That's one way I create Japanese flavor to my photos. And then as you can see here, I've got the grid spot attachment on the Godox softbox. It's really portable. I can control the light. I'll use this a lot of times as a rim light, a kicker light, a hair light, sometimes just as an accent light. But I can really control where it goes, and it's fabric grid, just Velcros in. Super easy, no hassles, and this is attached to the AD360. All right, so finally, I'd actually like to talk about something that's a Japanese concept called Ikigai. Now, what that talks about is how to bring what you enjoy doing into your daily life. So if you're a photographer and you love photography and you're struggling and you're saying, you know, I'm not making any money doing this, or maybe that's not your goal. Your goal isn't to go out and make money. This concept kind of allows you to bridge things that you're good at with how to make money or how to change the world. You have people that go out there and do stuff like help portrait. I think it was Chase Jarvis. You have the Kelby Worldwide Photo Walks. That's a good way to just meet people, get out and have a lot of fun. I've led several of those over the years. And then you have the Hurricane Sandy that happened. So you had people going out to the victims of Hurricane Sandy that totally lost everything. All their pictures, their entire house was destroyed. And so photographers took it upon themselves to go out, take photos for these people who lost everything. I mean, they didn't even have pictures in their wallets, some of them. They had absolutely nothing. So the photographers would go out there, take pictures, print them, frame it, do whatever they had to do, and bring it back to that person and say, here is something, now you don't have nothing. So Ikigai, basically, it allows you to tie your passion, that which you are actually good at, to a profession. Okay, if you can do that, then you've achieved success with this model. The other thing is, if you have a mission, so your mission is to go change the world, to save, create something, art, whatever the case is, and you want to share this with the world, giving it away for free, giving back to the community, you can turn that mission into a vocation. So that which you can be paid for. So it's not always just the mission itself is basically what the world needs. So the world needs something, they need photos. Is that your passion? My passion's photography, but I also make a living doing it. So I can call that my profession. I'm a professional photographer, I've been trained, and I'm just trying to get you to understand the Ikigai model. You can find your passion, your mission, and tie it to a profession or a vocation to actually change yourself, change the world, and become a better photographer. So that's it for now. If you have any more questions about anything lighting related, gear related, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll answer those for you. Thanks, and have a great day.